Welcome to the Small Business Report with your co-host, Carl Brown, the Executive Director of the DC Small Business Development Center, and Sharon Morton. They're bringing you all the tools you need to succeed. Stay tuned for expert advice for business owners, subject matter experts, and government agencies on how to start, grow, and finance your business right here at HUR Voices on Sirius XM, Channel 141. The Small Business Report will be right back with a show you don't want to miss after these messages.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, are you a small or mid-sized business? Let BDPAtoday.com help you leverage emerging technologies and digital innovations to transform your business.
BDPAtoday.com will highlight your organization's innovations, solutions, and success stories. Let BDPAtoday.com publish your branded videos, blogs, and photos to a national tech industry audience and assist with your awareness building campaign. With BDPAtoday.com, you can network with qualified and certified tech professionals and get access to developers, gamers, hackers, and interns to join your team for short or long-term projects.
Visit BDPAtoday.com for true digital transformation that will drive competitive advantage to your organization.
That's BDPAtoday.com.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. This is your boy Carl Brown, your host. And this week, unfortunately, Sharon is on assignment again, doing her thing. So we're going to miss her. We got a great show ahead, but she'll catch up with us next week. So today we have Mr. Victor Hoskins. He is the president and CEO of Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. And let me tell you, this gentleman here has been responsible for creating thousands of jobs. So just pay attention to what I'm about to say. He, as the president and CEO of the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority, Microsoft announced that they were building a 4,000 square foot software R&D center in Fairfax County, and that was in 2020. Now, Google, Facebook, Amazon Web Services, Volkswagen Group of America, and the global law firm of King and Spalding are also announcing that they're locating into Fairfax County. So, previous to working at Fairfax County, he was over at Arlington County, and he was the director of economic development over there in Arlington County. And let me tell you what he brought over there. He brought over Amazon, the global headquarters over there at Amazon in Arlington County. So this guy is responsible for so many things that other successes in Arlington included Nestle, Grant Thornton, Lidl, MasterCard, Deloitte, PBS, and O-Power Oracle. Victor has been busy. And let me tell you, finally, when he was in the District of Columbia, he was the deputy mayor of economic development for the district. And he was working on projects such as the Wharf and City Center. And those are beautiful projects that have come to fruition, creating over 375,000 jobs. So our friend Victor has been very busy. He'll be on the top of the hour. On the bottom of the hour, we have Lisa Shimkat, the state director for Iowa, and she'll be talking about rural businesses. How they work with rural businesses in the state of Iowa, and we are looking forward to hearing from both of them. So we'll be right back after these messages. Are you in trouble with the IRS? Whether your federal or state taxes are under audit or need to dispute your case in tax court, don't go up against the IRS alone. Let the tax experts at the law office of Beverly Winstead fight for you. With more than 15 years of tax law experience, the law office of Beverly Winstead has successfully negotiated settlements, reduced payments, and won disputes against the IRS for its clients. Go to www.irshelpattorneys.com for tax resolution for you or your business, or call 301-306-1234. The law office of Beverly Winstead, you're not alone. Call 301-306-1234.
Are you a business owner and your business needs a boost? Are you ready to build or grow a profitable business that delivers new clients and customers to you every month? Have your business highlighted on a national radio show or TV network. Let MortonMediaTV.com help you get the maximum exposure your business deserves so that you can get the customers you need. MortonMediaTV.com will help you start or grow your business rapidly through the power of TV and radio. You can reach hundreds of thousands of viewers and listeners who want to buy your product or service. At MortonMediaTV.com, our mission is to teach business owners how to use the media to their benefit. You can become a thriving entrepreneur and achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed about. Go to MortonMediaTV.com and get your business on TV or radio for the maximum exposure you deserve and the customers you need. That's MortonMediaTV.com.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, this is your host, Carl Brown and Sharon Morton. Are you a growing small or mid-sized government contractor ready to reduce your back office costs? Do you want to maximize your compliance and minimize risk managing contracts? Move your business to the next level of success with At-Work Systems.
At-Work's OneLink solution provides electronic self-services to every employee, greatly reducing frustrating paperwork. Your managers get out-of-the-box processes that increases productivity, improves control, and eliminates surprises. And most importantly, your executives get the real-time data and analysis needed to make better decisions.
Take it from us here on the Small Business Report on SiriusXM. Let At-Work Systems streamline your back office and save you money while doing it.
Visit exploreatwork.com now and receive your free demo and business assessment. That's exploreatwork.com.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on SiriusXM. And as I promised, I got Mr. Victor Hoskins here, the president and CEO of the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. Victor, welcome, and how you doing, buddy?
Carl, I'm doing fantastic. I'm blessed and highly favored, as they say.
I know through the successes that you've had. I mean, when I talk about hitting home runs and scoring touchdowns and slam dunks, that's what you've been doing your whole career, man. So, I really appreciate it. And I'm sure that every elected official that you have worked with appreciates all that you have brought to the table. So let's just jump in. What is economic development and what is it in Fairfax County?
Okay, fantastic. Great question. So economic development is the process by which jurisdictions, cities, counties, states actually make sure that their economies are resilient, make sure that when a crisis happens, they're able to recover. These are the men and women who work with businesses to help them get financing, to help them, deal with any struggles they might be having with permitting. So that's in general what it is. And it's really to undergird the economy. And it's usually all based on a strategy. The city or the county picks a strategy, and then they put the things in place to support that strategy. That's what economic development officials do. Now, in Fairfax County, we have a mission to not only do that, but also to market the county in a big way. Marketing is a big part of economic development around the country, but in particular in Fairfax County. Northern Virginia, as you know, is an incredible place. We have over 92,000 jobs available in Northern Virginia right now. Our job is to help people know that those jobs are available and to help get the talent there. And we do things like work with Microsoft. You mentioned the Microsoft deal, 400,000 square feet, 1,500 new employees, research and development. When we get a company like Microsoft, that was announced, by the way, right in the middle of COVID in May, June of last year, right in the middle of COVID, it really gave us an undergirding of optimism about the future. So it's not just that the companies come and it's not just that they bring jobs, but they also paint a picture of your future. And you mentioned Google and Facebook and other announcements that happen around the same time. You mentioned even Volkswagen of America re-signing a 20-year lease in Fairfax County. All of that really builds a brand image for what your economy is, and it also helps you bring more business to your local jurisdiction.
Absolutely. And, winners want to be with winners. That's the way I look at it. For real. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to be in a place that's desolate,
True.
that there's no future there. You want to be in the middle of things. I mean, if you're looking to make a profit, but let's
Exactly.
talk about, how did you get here? What's your background? How did you become the president and CEO of the Economic Development Authority?
So I actually started. I started my life. I was born in Chicago, and I love cities. And I went to high school out in California, and I came from humble beginnings, like a lot of us. I grew up in a public housing project on the south side of Chicago, and your prospects are, look, either you get educated and get out, or you're going to be where you are. And so,
Yeah.
my mother, she focused us on education, and I ended up getting scholarships to go to some great schools. I went to undergraduate at Dartmouth. I went to graduate school at MIT and got my master's in city planning, and that really began my career. I worked for the LA Urban League in South Central LA right out of graduate school, doing some revitalization work, and all of that continued to build over time. I got the opportunity to work in the private sector in real estate development for a major developer, a publicly traded real estate company out in California, and I got a chance to work on Wall Street. I founded a private real estate equity firm with four other guys called Urban America. So all of that really built up toward where I am right now. And frankly, it's funny how, you do this public and private sector thing and you learn about companies and how they operate, how to raise money. And in all of that, I discovered what I really love to do. And what I really love to do is I really loved helping businesses grow. And for the last 10 years, that's what I've been doing. You mentioned being deputy mayor of economic development in DC and working on projects like the Wharf and City Center. I mean, those were, honestly, if I only did those two projects in my career, I would have been happy.
Oh, I know.
I would have been
Hey,
done.
Victor, I call you the man with the Midas touch, man, because everything that you touch turns to gold. I'm telling you.
That's very kind of you.
If you look at, just those two projects, that made a lot of people's careers. And they stopped there. But you're like a mountain climber. Let's go to the top of Mount Everest.
Find the next one.
Like with a windbreaker on,
That's very kind of you. Well, Carl, I will tell you this. The real magic has been my teams. I have had extraordinary teams everywhere I've been. My chief of staff was Brian Kenner when I was deputy mayor of economic development in DC. He now
He's
runs
a great guy.
head of policy for Amazon HQ too.
For Amazon, I had the
He's
pleasure
awesome.
of meeting him. He is
Man.
a great guy, man.
Amazing.
I was impressed with him the day I met him. I mean, he came in there, he started talking, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's going places.
awesome.
You can
He's
tell
awesome.
right away when someone presents what their position on whatever it is, and here's economic development. I mean, this guy is amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. But it's the team,
the-
really. The team.
Yes, absolutely. So, I love, I'm all about inspiration. So I love the fact that, you came out of the housing projects. I mean, we're going to digress a little bit for a second. You came out of the housing projects. And I'm hoping that young people are listening and say, that could be me. That could be
Easily.
me. I can make a move like that.
Hey, man.
I don't have to die in these projects.
That's right.
I can
That's
I
right.
can get out of here.
That's
you know?
right. No, that's the truth. I try to tell kids, man, that look, don't don't set your sights around you. You got to look above. And, my father passed away before my first birthday.
Oh
So
my God, I'm
basically, I was
sorry to
raised
hear
by my
that, man.
mom. No, but you know what? It is not something that you fret about. It's something that you realize it becomes part of your character. It makes you stronger. You
Right.
grow from it, and you focus on the future. And for young people out there that are thinking about their future, get some education. Go to community college, get a couple of courses under your belt. Then transfer to a college or university. Pick a test careers, try a job, intern somewhere. I always tell people my first job, paper route. My first job with a paycheck, Taco Bell.
Similar,
Hey,
paper route, and then in the supermarket,
there you go.
stocking
Yeah.
shelves,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Start somewhere. Start somewhere.
But hey, give me a 30-second elevator pitch on why businesses should start, expand, or locate in Fairfax County, especially minority-owned businesses.
Yeah. Well, first of all, 41% of all of our businesses in Fairfax County are minority or women-owned businesses. So you have a lot of company if you come to Fairfax County. The second thing is we have an incredibly highly educated workforce. About 60% of our workforce has bachelor's degrees or better, and many of them in technical fields. Third, our schools are extraordinary. Our high schools, look, you can get there's a high school in Fairfax County. 100% of the kids graduate. 100% of them are prepared for college. That is better than prep schools. I mean, it is.
Oh yeah,
And you don't have to pay. That's paid for by your tax money. And
that's right.
incredible school system has really undergirded our attraction to these companies. Because think about it: when a company comes, they bring people. When those people come, they have kids, and they want their kids educated. So
That's
the
right.
connect, so you have an educated workforce, you have a great undergirding of educational infrastructure, and then on top of that, our corporate taxes have been the same for 50 years. It's 50 years. Very consistent government. We've had AAA bond rating. Listen to this. The state of Virginia has had AAA bond rating since 1989, and we've had a AAA bond rating in our county for 50 plus years.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, you are the economic engine of the state of Virginia.
we try to be. That's what we strive for. That's what we want to be.
So, what is the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority's role in the Fairfax County economy, and what do you do for businesses?
So I'll just give an example, like what just happened with COVID. So when COVID happened, a lot of businesses just had to shut down directly, and a lot of them wanted to apply for PPP money from the federal government and EIDL money. What we did was we actually provided them with access to the SBA and the people who were actually making the loans, and we even connected the companies to banks if they didn't have banking relationships. And then there were a lot of small companies with 50 employees or less that did not have the ability to even apply for the PPP money. So what we
Right.
did was we worked with the county and the county board of supervisors. They were so courageous. They came up with $52 million in grants, and they called this program the Fairfax Rise program, specifically targeted businesses with 50 employees or less. And they help give grants to 4,800 businesses. We helped them market it. We got it to the businesses. 4,800 businesses. 72% were women, minority, or veteran-owned businesses.
Hey, Victor, we're gonna go to break right quick, but let's finish that discussion on the other side of the break.
You got it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Carl.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners. We've said goodbye to summer and it's time for things to get back to our everyday autumn groove. With so much changing around us, it's difficult to find that extra time for you. With Plexiderm, all you need is 10 minutes and you can look 10 years younger. Plexiderm is a clinically studied serum that gives your appearance the right kind of changes. Visibly reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and even under eye bags in minutes. Take up to 10 years off your appearance in less than 10 minutes. The results will last for hours. Try a 6-application trial pack for just $14.95 with free shipping when you visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and use the code SMALL. This order comes with free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Make those wrinkles, lines, and under eye bags disappear with Plexiderm. Visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and say the code SMALL at checkout. Get ready for skincare and makeup that will heal your mind, body, and soul. SkinDeepBeautyStore.com is a totally organic and vegan skincare and makeup line that you'll love using, because what you put on your body is just as important as what you put in it. Choose from our organic moisturizers, anti-aging serums, natural and fruit-based scrubs, masks, lipsticks, and glosses. No more worries about harsh chemicals being absorbed into your skin. It's time to commit to your health and wellness. SkinDeepBeautyStore.com is your one-stop, cruelty-free skincare and makeup shop with safe and environmentally friendly ingredients for the love of you. Visit us at SkinDeepBeautyStore.com. That's SkinDeepBeautyStore.com.
Do you need expert advice from successful business leaders on how to start, grow, and finance your business? Tune in every week to the Small Business Report at HUR Voices on Sirius XM Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton. The Small Business Report gives you, the small business owner, and those thinking about starting a business, expert advice from successful business leaders around the country. Visit us at smallbusinessreport.biz and like us on Facebook. The Small Business Report, giving you the tools you need to succeed. This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. And we're talking to Victor Hoskins he was telling us about the RISE program in Fairfax County for small businesses. So, Victor, why don't you finish that thought? Because I think it's really critical that a lot of these small businesses learn about what they can get from Fairfax County government and the tax dollars that you have available that can assist them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I mentioned, the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, led by Chairman McKay, really focused on getting resources to the small and minority businesses and women-owned and veteran-owned businesses, because what had happened was the PPP money didn't get down to a lot of them. Fairfax County businesses received $2.9 billion in PPP money in round one. 2.9 billion, but these businesses that had 50 employees and less, they weren't among those. So that's why they designed this special program. And this was the first time in history that the Board of Supervisors had actually put grants right into businesses, and they put them directly into small businesses. As I mentioned, 72% of these were women, minority, or veteran-owned businesses. So we do that, and then we provide them with technical assistance. The SBA has this wonderful program called the SCORE Mentoring Program. When I first got to Fairfax, we had one mentor. I said, that is not enough. So we now have 6, and we have 6 now. And boy, these guys are superstars. They're entrepreneurs. Most of them are wealthy. Many of them are just retired tech executives or retired brick and mortar executives. Like this one guy, he built like 380 paint stores across the country for a company. But they really provide direct counseling to these businesses to help them figure out, like, if they're stuck, what to do next. Like, how do I go from 500,000 in sales to $1 million in sales? What are the things that I have to do that? Where do I get financing? How do I build a relationship with a bank? This is what they provide, this one-on-one counseling for them, and it's free. It's paid for by your federal taxes. And by the way, they have these all over the country. So you could be in LA, you could be in Atlanta, you can be in Iowa, you can be in Boise, Idaho. You can be anywhere, and these SCORE counselors are available. We just happened to pull 6 together because we wanted to provide a lot of support. The other thing we provide are technical workshops that are, again, free. And by the way, anyone from another jurisdiction that's interested, you can go to our Fairfax County EDA website, and you can actually tap into these also. We don't care who comes on. We just want businesses to learn. Our first 12-part series was how to deal with COVID, how to make the transition from from cash to electronic, how to get on delivery versus, in your, selling, in your location. And then the second set is now just started. It's called Catalyst for Change. And this is a 10-part series. I think we're on number 5, but it really focuses on how businesses are preparing themselves, positioning themselves for growing into what's about to come. Because, man, it's going to be a tsunami. If a restaurant has been able to hold on during this pandemic, trust me, sales will grow. If you got good food, your sales will grow. Because people want to spend money. I can't wait to go to a restaurant, man. I'm tired of washing dishes. Carl,
Me too.
I wash all the dishes. You too? Man, it's something else. Something else. Oh goodness! But that's really the kind of thing that we've been doing, and we've kind of changed our model. We actually now service businesses all throughout Northern Virginia. We used to just focus on Fairfax, but we focus now on 10 jurisdictions in Northern Virginia, and it's because of our relationship with other economic development organizations. We've created an alliance, so it's a regional alliance. So we all mutually support each other. We share cost. And now we've created this digital hub, I call it. And by the way, if anybody's looking for a job, go to workinnorthernvirginia.com. That's workinnorthernvirginia.com. We have 92,000 jobs advertised on this site right now. 1,800 of these are internships and apprenticeships for those young people who are trying to figure out what to do with their career. And we have connected over 3,100 individuals from schools or professionals in the middle of their career with over 100 companies with over 10,000 job opportunities directly. We work with 30 universities, including 7 historically black colleges, George Mason University, Howard University. We are focused on serving those that are looking for careers, man, because you know what? Right now, cyber computing, cloud computing, these are the industries that are growing, and we want to get people into these jobs.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you said cyber, because everybody's being affected by this cyber criminals out here. I mean, it's unbelievable because we're all working from home now, and everyone's security on their systems is a little bit different. When you're at work, the company or the Economic Development Authority, they're responsible for the security of the system. But when you're at home, it might be your cable provider. It might be some software that you bought at Office Depot, or it might not be anything. And we found it's a lot of times it's not anything. You just getting on the internet and things are starting to happen to you. So, but yeah, Fairfax County has long been the economic powerhouse for Virginia and the D.C. region. What is happening there now, and how does it affect the D.C. region?
Well, you mentioned earlier some of the announcements that have been made recently, and I'll just mention a couple of others. Aerotech, 1,500 jobs. Carasoft Technology, 200 jobs. Expel, 164 jobs. These companies are really changing the character of the regional economy. And it's great that we work as a region now because Amazon coming in is bringing in a lot of innovation. They've already hired over 1,600 people. And by the way, those aren't all people hired in Arlington County. They're being hired from all over the region, from DC, from Prince George's, from Fairfax County. They're coming from everywhere to work there. By the way, they have another 34,000 to hire. So it's not like they're finished. They just started. But when we land a company that's in a field of growing technology, or we win an innovation center, that complements the work that's going on in other places, like Montgomery County. Montgomery County has huge biotech. Okay.
Yes.
Well, a lot of that biotech has data analytics behind it. Well, we have the largest cloud computing centers in the world. As a matter of fact, the data center locations in Northern Virginia are the highest concentration of data centers in the world, and over 70% of all the data in the world, in the internet in the world, flows through Northern Virginia. That said, if you want to do some computing, you want to do some digital analysis, you want to analyze a variant of a COVID, it is easier to do it through our infrastructure than it is from any other. And by the way, the closer you are, the faster you're computing. So for us, we complement the biotech industry in over there in Montgomery County. And so what we're doing is we're building these relationships with the other counties where all of us have our own comparative advantage. I'll tell you right now, we were just talking about the Wharf and City Center. Well, if you want to have a great time, Prince George's County has the #1 lifestyle center in the entire region, National Harbor. And that becomes an asset that we can play off of. DC, 22 Smithsonian museums that are all free, paid for by your federal tax money. So when we're doing our tourism and all our other pieces of our economic development strategy, we play off those assets. And all of this works together to create this kind of quality of life that's really unique. I mean, we could tell someone, look, you can work in Northern Virginia or in DC or in Montgomery County, and you can have a sailboat in Annapolis, or you can kayak, or you can just kayak on the river. That'll get yourself a kayak. That doesn't cost you nothing. Rent a kayak. I mean, so the bottom line is that you can really work and get it. You can get a lifestyle as well as great job opportunities. My wife and I moved here over 25 years ago. We moved from LA. And when we moved here, what first thing we noticed was the quality of life was extraordinary. And not just, in Northern Virginia, but throughout the entire region. And for what you're paid in relationship, I'm talking good paying jobs now, in relationship to your quality of life, it's unbelievable. I mean, we barely bought a condo when we were in Los Angeles for almost the same price we bought a house in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, Victor, we got a minute left, man. What pearls of wisdom would you like to drop on the audience before you end the discussion?
Well, listen, for you economic development guys out there, you need to make sure that you help your people get to this second stimulus money. There's $7.25 billion available in the payroll protection program. There's $15 billion targeted at companies that have been economically injured for disaster loans. There's actually a $28 billion restaurant and revitalization fund within the stimulus package. There's a $10 billion credit initiative for small businesses. All of this is available for your companies right now. Go after it. And companies, get on the phone. Reach out to your economic development officials. Reach out to the SBA. Reach out to those people that they're paid to help you. They want to help you. Just reach out.
That's right. Well, look, we going to have to bring you back, Victor, because we're done right now, man. I apologize, but we got to bring you back, man. Thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Thank you. Really appreciate the call.
Talk to you soon, buddy. Take care
all right,
now.
sir. Okay. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM, Channel 141. Hey, Small Business Report listeners. Are you a small or mid-sized business? Let BDPAtoday.com help you leverage emerging technologies and digital innovations to transform your business.
BDPAtoday.com will highlight your organization's innovations, solutions, and success stories. Let BDPAtoday.com publish your branded videos, blogs, and photos to a national tech industry audience and assist with your awareness building campaign. With BDPAtoday.com, you can network with qualified and certified tech professionals and get access to developers, gamers, hackers, and interns to join your team for short or long-term projects.
Visit BDPAtoday.com for true digital transformation that will drive competitive advantage to your organization.
That's BDPAtoday.com.
Are you in trouble with the IRS? Whether you owe federal or state taxes, are under audit, or need to dispute your case in tax court, don't go up against the IRS alone. Let the tax experts at the law office of Beverly Winstead fight for you. With more than 15 years of tax law experience, the law office of Beverly Winstead has successfully negotiated settlements, reduced payments, and won disputes against the IRS for its clients. Go to www.irshelpattorneys.com for tax resolution for you or your business, or call 301-306-1234. The law office of Beverly Winstead, you're not alone. Call 301-306-1234.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
You're listening to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141. And that was our buddy Victor Hoskins, President and CEO of the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. And now we have Miss Lisa Shimkat. She is the Iowa State Director for the SBDC out there in Iowa. And she is a national board member for America's SBDC. And she has a lot of experience. And in her shop at the Iowa SBDC, they have worked with, over the past 5 years, 17,000 clients, created over 7,400 jobs, have helped businesses get $342 million in capital. They have multiple locations throughout the state of Iowa. And so, Lisa, how you doing? And welcome to the Small Business Report.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carl. I'm doing well and surviving. So I guess that's step one.
What that is. So today, I'm located in D.C. I'm as my audience knows, I'm the state director for the D.C. Small Business Development Center, but we don't have any rural businesses in Washington, D.C., which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. I mean, we're an urban environment, so we only deal with urban businesses. But you, on the other hand, have urban, suburban, and rural. And
Yes.
if we could, just let's talk about, what are some of the challenges facing small businesses in the rural areas of Iowa? And people could translate it to any other state as well. But, what are some of the challenges your small businesses are facing right now?
Absolutely. Sometimes it's things that you may not think about, but other times you kind of take a step back and, oh, absolutely, that could be a challenge. Some of the things that our businesses really got hit with right away when the shutdown happened was honestly broadband and accessibility. We had a lot of businesses that we still have what we call broadband deserts. And, I get it. It's 2021. There shouldn't be connectivity issues, but there are. The other thing that we ran into outside of the broadband was then also access to resources. When you're in a very rural area, there's also the trust factor. And you want to trust that local source. So in Iowa, we do a lot of partnering with the chambers and the economic development, the Main Street communities, the legislation gets to the rural areas. But one of the other things that they ran into was we don't have a lot of them online because we still like that face-to-face. These businesses, particularly on the retail side, were really focused on face-to-face, and this is how I'm going to make my sale. So we needed to get them online, and that was probably the first step that needed to happen. At the beginning of it, of those that responded to a survey on how it was impacting them, only about 27% were selling online. And we needed to increase those backdoor sales. So that was the first step that we really focused on as a state. One of the projects that we put out there, and we're still working on, is just taking a clean photo. I know it sounds so simplistic, but taking a clean photo to put online. And so what we did with some of our CARES funds is we actually bought photo boxes, and we're in the process of delivering them to every single community in the state. So that everybody out there, whether it's a farmer's market, a retail, a youth entrepreneur, they have access to something that will get them a more professional-based photo and hopefully make them more competitive online.
Yeah, that was critical for us too. I mean, even with our urban businesses, that
Yes.
they had to pivot onto the internet to sell, whether it was on the social media platforms or building a website. And those that were able to pivot were able to start making sales and increasing their revenues.
Yep.
So how does that differ from the urban areas, the challenges that you saw in the rural environments? How does that differ from the urban areas that you're dealing with?
Part of it when it came to the rural and urban, and I've lived everywhere. I lived Chicago, Atlanta, and I bought a lot of stuff online. And then, I grew up in Iowa. Coming back to Iowa, what we also had to do was to train our consumers, because the consumers were not used to buying things online, but in our urban areas, they were. There was a lot more connectivity there. The access and ability to buy online was there. And so we needed to then, in a sense, teach our consumers here is how you can still shop local, but do it safely. So it was also trying to figure out how to change the mindset of a consumer. So that kind of compounded the problem. And then the other thing that really hit a lot of these folks hard out in the rural areas was the supply chain disruptions. They were unable to get product, because you might have had the product go to Chicago, go to Des Moines, go to maybe Minneapolis. But if you weren't one of those three areas, you had to figure out how you were going to get more product put on your shelves to even have sales. So the supply chain disruption, the broadband, and then the lack of online capability was kind of the trifecta of the do or die for a lot of our businesses in the rural areas. And that's where we really had to step up our game to help out with that, help find different supply chains. We worked with a lot of the manufacturing extensions program, a lot of national suppliers, to figure out how we could open the gates again on the supply chain, just so we could get product into those rural areas. If you have a business in a town that has 700 people, that may not be a priority for a large business that is a supplier. And that's where we needed to really figure out, what are we going to do to help them? And it was a big challenge. It was a big challenge.
So let me ask you, please tell the audience that, how to get in touch with, like your centers.
Absolutely. The best thing to do is to go to iowasbdc.org. Right away on there, there's a link to say request counseling. Number one step. After you put in a little bit of information, then one of our counselors will contact you right away so that we can get that next meeting set up, whether it's face-to-face, virtual, phone. And the other thing with our website is we have a dedicated page that talks about a lot of the state programs along with the federal programs. We're very fortunate in Iowa. Our governor instantly realized that our retail sector, our restaurant sector, this was not just a disruption. This was an entire shift of an industry. And so they needed to get involved. They started with a $4 million grant program, which then they ended up putting in $94 million into small businesses in the state. And we were instrumental in really helping find those avenues for those small businesses. So that was another thing that we could do as the SBDC, was help direct them to those programs. And now we talked about disadvantages for rural, so I want to make sure I put the positive out there too, Carl.
Absolutely. Yes.
A positive that we found was the commitment of those in the communities to help put together local grant programs to support those local businesses. And that was huge. We have seen, as many have seen, how everybody is stepping up to really help small businesses across the nation. And I am particularly, maybe a little biased, but I'm particularly proud of what Iowans did by really coming together as communities and putting money together, working with landlords, talking to lenders, forgoing payments, just so that we could keep these small businesses solvent, so that we could keep them moving forward. And it was amazing. And it just really puts your hope back out there for what can happen when people come together.
Yeah, because, I was on the call yesterday, and they were talking about when the economy opens back up, we're going to want all of those services that we had before the economy shut down. And a lot of these businesses are like going by the wayside, and are gone. So it's going to be a rebuilding effort as well as a reopening effort by a lot of our clients. So we got about a minute left. In this segment, why don't you tell them how to get in touch with you again, so that they would have that information?
Absolutely. The best way to get in touch with us, to get access to all the resources out there, is to go to our website, Iowa SBDC, that's Small Business Development Center.org. Click on Request Counseling, and we can get started right away helping you find success.
Yeah, so look, folks, we'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM Channel 141.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, we've said goodbye to summer and it's time for things to get back to our everyday autumn groove. With so much changing around us, it's difficult to find that extra time for you. With Plexiderm, all you need is 10 minutes and you can look 10 years younger. Plexiderm is a clinically studied serum that gives your appearance the right kind of changes. Visibly reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and even under eye bags in minutes. Take up to 10 years off your appearance in less than 10 minutes. The results will last for hours. Try a 6-application trial pack for just $14.95 with free shipping when you visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and use the code SMALL. This order comes with free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Make those wrinkles, lines, and under-eye bags disappear with Plexiderm. Visit tryplexiderm.com or call 800-685-1292 and say the code SMALL at checkout.
Hey, Small Business Report listeners, this is your host, Carl Brown and Sharon Morton. Are you a growing small or mid-sized government contractor ready to reduce your back office costs? Do you want to maximize your compliance and minimize risk managing contracts? Move your business to the next level of success with At-Work Systems.
At-Work's OneLink solution provides electronic self-services to every employee, greatly reducing frustrating paperwork. Your managers get out-of-the-box processes that increases productivity, improves control, and eliminates surprises. And most importantly, your executives get the real-time data and analysis needed to make better decisions.
Take it from us here on the Small Business Report on Sirius XM. Let At-Work Systems streamline your back office and save you money while doing it.
Visit exploreatwork.com now and receive your free demo and business assessment. That's exploreatwork.com. Are you a business owner and your business needs a boost? Are you ready to build or grow a profitable business that delivers new clients and customers to you every month? Have your business highlighted on a national radio show or TV network. Let MortonMediaTV.com help you get the maximum exposure your business deserves so that you can get the customers you need. MortonMediaTV.com will help you start or grow your business rapidly through the power of TV and radio. You can reach hundreds of thousands of viewers and listeners who want to buy your product or service. At MortonMediaTV.com, our mission is to teach business owners how to use the media to their benefit. You can become a thriving entrepreneur and achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed about. Go to MortonMediaTV.com and get your business on TV or radio for the maximum exposure you deserve and the customers you need. That's MortonMediaTV.com.
This is HUR Voices on Sirius XM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharon Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM. And we're talking to Lisa Shimkat. She is the Iowa State Director. And we're talking about the wonderful things that her centers are doing in Iowa. And hey, Lisa, let's talk about agricultural businesses. So how has the agricultural-based businesses been impacted by the COVID?
You know, the answer I'm going to start with is it depends. Those that were focused on whether it's feed additives, supplements for livestock, things like that, they're doing okay. They had to keep plugging forward. What we ran into with some of them, as I've said before, is just that darn supply chain. Being able to get the inputs when it came to a lot of our vaccine testing. We did a lot with some high-tech, some apps that were out there. We also had a lot of high-tech products that the people weren't able to get the prototype finished because when it came to the first part of the pandemic and the shutdown, the focus was on the retail and the restaurant sector, which understandably, and transportation, absolutely. Now, Iowa was able to come back more quickly when it came to some of the ag sectors so that we could focus on, that clean tech, whether it was something to do with biofuels. Those were things where we really needed to make sure that we had no hurdles, if I could say it that way. We had a great connection when it came to working together with our state. And I think that's one thing that we had powerful partnerships. And I stress it all the time. You got to have those powerful partnerships to move things forward. Some of the examples that we ran into is we had a high-tech company that was actually working on a fuel additive. They stopped so that they could utilize their facility to work on hand sanitizer. Remember when the demand for hand sanitizer was way out there? We also had a lot of our distilleries. And I know a lot of people say, well, a distillery, that's not agriculture, but it is. They're using the corn that is made right there on the farm. And they too did that. And then we were able to reach out to some ethanol plants to get some denatured alcohol, also focused on a lot of the other things that went into it. And I tell you what, it was everybody working together. Now, with the Iowa agriculture, many times people look at it as the corn, the soybeans, the cows, but it's so much more. There's ag tech. There is, the tractors that drive themselves. We have John Deere here. We have a lot of the major players that have those technology needs, as well as the R&D. So the R&D is still moving forward. They may have changed focus so that they can focus on things that are needed, whether it's with regards to the vaccine, whether it's regards to what are some of our next steps, maybe 6 months from now, a year from now. So all of those conversations are happening now, and they will be instrumental as we continue to move forward as a nation out of COVID.
That's incredible. So you're telling me that they have tractors that are driving themselves?
Yes. In fact, one of the technologies that first came out with some of the trackability within the tractor, the self-drive, but then also tracking how much fertilizer goes in the field, how much topsoil is being affected, the winds, all of the GIS mapping. Some of that was developed by a company called Tractor Zoom that was an SBDC client. So it started as a student project. Very cool things. And it's really exciting to be a part of this ecosystem.
I'm telling you, I'm sitting here with my mouth open. This is amazing because, again, we don't have rule in Washington, D.C., and so to hear these things is really an education for me, and to find out that, now we've heard of, these various companies having driverless cabs and driverless trucks, but I never would have thought that we would have a driverless tractor plowing the fields to grow crops. So that's amazing.
Yep. And then also, I was just going to say also to think outside of your traditional agriculture. We also have aquaculture. So you have the shrimp farms, the salmon farms. You have a lot of things that go into the state of agriculture in the state of Iowa. And we're very proud of it. We have a long history in it and a lot of success. So for me, it's very exciting to talk about. So I appreciate this opportunity, Carl.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Because, we're educating our audience 100% right now. So what are some of the businesses that you are seeing coming out of this rural areas now?
Absolutely. So one of the ones that we had coming out of a rural area was one that was working with one of our universities on a rapid test for COVID. They were able to work on getting some additional funding. So something like that is exciting, relevant, and obviously extremely timely. Another product coming out of our rural areas were some of the feed additives so that we could look at the scarcity when it comes to some of the food supply. And how do we make sure that we maintain a strong food supply, which I know a lot of people kind of panicked a little. I have a brother out in LA and they were struggling just trying to get to the grocery store sometimes when this first started. So food scarcity is something that we look at not only on the human side, but also on the livestock side. And it's very, very important. Other things that we look at and that we have come to us when it comes to some of the rural areas is also adaptations to common products. So adaptations to a tractor that someone out in the rural area came up with because it was working well for them. And we actually go out to them to say, you know what, this may have commercialization opportunities. And so we have a program called the Rural Business Innovators. And that's where we go out to seek those innovations that have commercialization potential. Now, it may need an IP strategy, it may not, but they have that potential for commercialization so we can create and build wealth in the rural areas. So just a
Yes.
lot of exciting things there.
And I like the way you slid in the IP, which is intellectual property.
Yep, sorry about that. You know how I am with acronyms. I have
Oh
my
yeah,
stint on
yeah.
the SBA side. I used to work on the USDA side, so I feel I got the double dose of acronyms. But yes, the intellectual property, sometimes you need a strategy, sometimes not. When it comes, well, I guess not having a strategy is a strategy, but sometimes you don't need to go after that patent. Sometimes it's good enough to, you know what, let's get it to market. Let's go ahead and push forward. We've had people go on Shark Tank. There's just it's exciting, and sometimes we're considered that flyover state, but people really need to take a look at Iowa. There's some great things happening. We have high education. Colleges, universities here, and obviously with a lot of our leadership in agriculture, you've seen a lot of folks from Iowa be Secretary of Ag of the United States, and a lot of great things happening, and it really makes us proud to be able to contribute to this on a national level.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You guys are doing great things. So let's talk about how can the USDA and the SBA programs work together.
Absolutely. This was one thing, like I had mentioned, I have a little bit of a background on USDA side as well. When I worked for a G&T, see, Carl, I almost threw another acronym out there, but a generator and transmitter of power. And what we did, we went after some USDA loan and grant funds. Now, why is that important? Why that's important is because then we had what's called a revolving loan fund. In Iowa, there's hundreds and probably almost several thousand revolving loan funds. Why are they important, especially now? Because they have been providing low interest or zero interest loans to small businesses for sustainability. And one great example was a company just not that far from where I live that actually was able to put 5 different revolving loan funds together to be able to have their overall packaging. We talk about how businesses can't find or have access to capital. Holy buckets. I think this is something that I think more states need to reach out to their USDA partners. They need to look at opportunities to pair up, the SBA guarantee loan program, the USDA B&I business and industry loan guarantee program. There are things that we can do together that we don't have to look just down one path. But I think if you're going forward, you need to focus on getting capital for those businesses, whether it comes from this acronym over here or that one. We're all in this together.
Absolutely. We got a minute left. Give them your website again so they can find out how to get free counseling from the Iowa Small Business Development Centers.
Absolutely. Just go to our website is the step number 1, Iowa SBDC, Small Business Development Center.org. Click on Request Counseling. While you're there, check out our resources for COVID-19 relief, as well as a link to all of the state programs that we have available. We're here to help. We are no cost, and we look forward to meeting you.
Lisa, thank you so much. You have been a lightning rod of information. Very informative on the rural environment and what is needed out there and how you can help. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carl, for this opportunity. And let me know if you ever need anything from Iowa. We're here to help.
Yes, ma'am. So you're listening to the Small Business Report here on Sirius XM. We'll be back next week with vital information to help you grow your business.
This has been Carl Brown and Sharon Morton giving you all the tools you need to succeed on the Small Business Report. Thank you for listening, and be sure to tune in next week at HUR Voices on Sirius XM Channel 141. Please don't forget to like us on Facebook. And for more tips on starting, growing, and financing your business, visit us at thesmallbusinessreport.biz.